Hello and what is up guys, my name is Magi, you're watching Troll Bros, and welcome to the top 5 settlement building mods available on the Fallout 4 Nexus. Now today we are going to be taking a look at 5 of the single greatest settlement building mods available for Fallout 4. As always, the majority of these mods have already been showcased by me in the past, however, some of them have never before been uploaded onto this channel. So without further ado, I give you 5 of the greatest settlement building mods on the Fallout 4 Nexus. At number 5, we have the Thematic and Practical Workshop Settlements, Structures and Furniture by 5like. Now, if you're in the market for some brand new settlement furniture, but are on a tight budget, I highly recommend this mod, because it will add so much character, well, as long as you don't mind it looking like utter fucking trash. Now, the Thematic and Practical mod is a settlement workshop mod that adds in an insane variety of brand new, custom-made, and honestly quite astonishing looking settlement objects, some being decoration, some being functional furniture, and some even offering your settlers brand new jobs, on very unique platforms. Now yes, at first glance it might look like I just kind of ransacked a homeless person's house. Oh no wait, they don't have those. A homeless person's pile of assorted garbage. But in my opinion, these are some of the best looking settlement objects available on the Fallout 4 Nexus. Now, I am a big fan of the Fallout 4 settlement system, but I am kind of annoyed by the lack of uniqueness when it comes to furniture. I mean, post-apocalyptic settlers should not have access to perfectly formed concrete walls. However, this mod features an insane variety of brand new useful settlement objects with a pretty post-apocalyptic Mad Max-esque theme. Now, to access your brand new furniture, you will simply have to start up the settlement workshop and go to the very right hand side of the screen, under an icon that can only be described as thick! I like big butts and I cannot lie! And will be quite meticulously organized. So much so that it can get pretty fucking annoying having to sift through all the random categories and subcategories alike. But these brand new items do not only feature cosmetic items such as, I guess, random fucking tires. Who the fuck thought this was a good idea? But also feature functioning furniture, such as beds, chairs, shelves, and the like. And it doesn't even stop there, because the mod maker also remade some of the stores, giving you much more variety and included separate signposts for each and every single store, as well as brand new guard posts that look like they have just been freshly made from your local neighborhood junkyard. Now, this might just be me, but honestly I find this mod quite amazing. Fallout 4 furniture really does not have enough variety and just looks way too fucking fancy for a rudimentary shit shack of a settlement I usually end up building. This is by far one of my favorite settlement workshop mods, adding in furniture that can only be described as a homeless version of IKEA. So just give this mod a download and add it to your load order. And before you know it, your settlements will start to look like the Middle East. If someone said, hey, let's have a contest and see who can rape the Middle East the fastest. And then ISIS just kind of won. Next up at number 4, we have the Northland Diggers, Resources, Animals, Landscapes, Gardens and More by Ludwig08. Do you need something for your settlers to do instead of just sitting around like useless pieces of shit? And honestly looking quite fucking creepy. If so, this mod should be right up your alley, because it will fix that issue up quite nicely. The Northland Diggers mod essentially adds in a whole bunch of brand new, custom-made settlement workshop items, some of them being useful resource scavenging stations, and others being just cosmetic items for you to beautify your settlements, both looking quite exquisite. Now, to access your brand new settlement items, you will simply be required to go into your workshop and go to the far right category, where you will find a brand new Northland Diggers tab, with a whole bunch of other tabs and sub-tabs and so on and so forth, hidden inside of it. Now for the scavenging stations themselves. Unlike the vanilla scavenging station, which is kinda useless and way too broad, the Northland Diggers mod adds in dozens of brand new item-specific scavenging stations, which you can now build and your settlers later operate. Now, when it comes to the function of these stations, some are pretty straightforward, like the butcher, generating meat for your settlement, or the lumberjack, giving your settlers a whole bunch of wood, and also giant throbbing erections, or even the concrete smasher, generating concrete, ceramics, and such things. And I mean, just look at that fucking teddy bear. Is that not the quaintest little fucking shit you've ever seen?
I am currently wanted for war crimes.
But some stations, on the other hand, are pretty fucking confusing and honestly quite vague. For example, the mop and bucket, which I would assume the settlers use it to clean up the place, but that does not make much sense, and I honestly am not sure what they do with it. And in fact, I don't wanna know. And even includes a few brand new stations with quite unique features. For example, the settlement mailbox, enabling you to fucking ship mail or some shit. Or the tax collector, because if you guys wanna be creepy, useless fucking shits, let's at least tax it. Or, for example, the Undertaker, not to be confused with the famous wrestler who in 1998 threw mankind off Hell in a Cell and plummeted 16 feet through an announcer's table. This one is actually used to bury the bodies of the dead. Or something. And if you don't think that's a worthwhile function, well then, my friend, you are a fucking cunt. Because if you don't bury the dead, Mr. Skeletal will recruit them for his skeleton army.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine.
Besides creating a whole bunch of brand new jobs for your settlers, this mod also adds in a whole bunch of new cosmetic items for you to further decorate your settlements. Now the list of items is actually quite vast and includes a whole bunch of flora and general resources you could throw all around your settlements. For example, just sprout a whole bunch of fucking trees. Or if that's not your thing, why not add a touch of green? Not to be confused with the popular mod, a touch of green. And hell, you can even add branches with rope swings for your gnomes.
I am also currently wanted for committing multiple war crimes.
And if you are not a fan of trees, don't worry, because this mod also adds in fucking rocks. So you could decorate your settlement and make it whatever you want it to be. Which in my case is, I guess, just a whole bunch of fucking rocks. And at number 3, we have the Sim Settlements mod by King Goth. Settlements are a core mechanic in Fallout 4, considering this is the first game in the Fallout series where they were actually introduced. And when Bethesda first started talking about them, they promised us so much more. Immersive living conditions, clean running water, self-building buildings, and even universal healthcare. Honestly, I'm not sure that's correct. I have no idea what they promised. But whatever they did, Sim Settlements does it way better. Now, Sim Settlements is essentially a mod that aims to make Fallout 4 settlements feel a bit more immersive, in the sense that you will no longer be the only person building the buildings in your settlement, and they also will not get built overnight. Well, I mean, they still kind of will, but it's a process. It's a process. Sim Settlements essentially allows you to build several plots, which your settlers can later develop to build their own houses, markets, resource stations, and even plantations to gather food. Now, to get started, you will need to find a holotape with the help of which you will enable the mod. The mod maker has stated that he has made the holotape easily available, so you should be able to find it early game. That being said, he has not specified where it is, so you might want to have a look around or spawn it in via console. And when you actually get the holotape, not much configuration will be necessary, because much like a penis, all you need to do is stick it in. All the way in. But if you happen to have the mod HUD framework installed, then I also suggest enabling the sensors, since that will add a brand new element to your GUI with the help of which you will be able to track the progress or the requirements for your settlements to expand. Let's face it, the settlements you built before using this mod were kinda shit, and also really fucking creepy. But with the help of this mod, your settlements can end up looking interesting, immersive, and oh so more intricate than they did before. And also really fucking creepy. With the help of this mod, building settlements looks completely different. As soon as you activate the mod via holotape, a brand new section will open up in your workshop. That being the special category, which will include a whole bunch of new plots, with the help of which your settlements will now be developed. Now this includes, and is currently limited to, one type of agricultural plot, which is essentially a improved, maintained and upgradable version of, well, food resources. 3 types of the commercial plot. Now the commercial plots are plots meant for stores, for markets, for vendors, for bars, and so on and so forth. However, you will not be able to assign and/or operate plots such as this if your population is too low, so you do need to maintain a decent amount of people, as well as a decent amount of housing, 1 per person. 2 types of industrial plot, which are essentially glorified and vastly improved scavenging stations, and even 3 types of the residential plot. Now, the residential plots are essentially houses for your settlers. And the way you actually develop these plots is pretty simple. All you will have to do is walk over to a settler while in the workshop menu, select him and then click on the plot. He will immediately start building it, which will trigger an animation, meaning that it is being developed. And as soon as they are done, they will actually start operating the plot. But you know what's the single greatest feature about this mod? Because it's not the fact that the houses build themselves. It's not even the fact that these settlements will actually upgrade themselves later on if they have enough material. Meaning that a settlement you build early game will get completely changed up if you visited later game. Oh no, the single greatest feature about this mod is when you decide to demolish a plot you place down. It will not just disappear, you will not just get the resources from it, but it will actually explode in a fucking fireball. Honestly, what is a more satisfying feeling than blowing up a settler's house right in front of their fucking eyes? Yeah, how does that feel, you fucking piece of shit? Now, the base kind of requirement for this mod is the fact that you already have a somewhat working settlement in place. Meaning that you will not only have to get some settlers, but you will also have to set up some beds, plant some crops, and slap down some turrets to protect the thing you value most in the world. This mod actually comes packed with visual cues to help you navigate with what's going on around your settlement. For example, if a plot is finished but vacant, it will actually notify you with a nifty little sign. As well as, if you sneak into a settler's house in the middle of the night, wearing only a Santa beard and hat and a cock ring, the settler will start screaming and stabbing you with the nearest object, much like in real life. Honestly, I'm not sure that that's actually a feature, but could you imagine it? It would make this so much more immersive, as well as it would go great hand in hand with the mod Santa Sex Predator. But does this mod have affordable universal healthcare? No, but you can blow up buildings, and what's healthcare compared to that? Now, the way this mod is set up, this mod actually utilizes a vast variety of houses and plots and so on and so forth, meaning that if you comprise your settlement entirely of plots added by this mod, it will not look as if you only plastered one object all over the entire base, but will actually have quite a lot of variety. But I think one of this mod's key selling points is how happy it will make your settlers. I mean, just look at that face. Does that not look like the face of someone who is proud to build their own house, as well as the houses of others, because fuck that shit, which I'm not doing anymore. If you really want a godlike, almighty, chosen one themed carpenter to build your stuff instead of you, then you might as well call Mitt Romney, or Jesus, or Paul Ryan. Nearing the end here, we have a mod that will truly revolutionize your settlements, the Place Anywhere mod by The Lich. Despite this next mod being categorized as a settlement or workshop mod, it actually adds in no new settlement objects and or items into your game. However, it does insanely improve on the vanilla Fallout 4 settlement building function. Judging from the name, you can already guess that this mod adds in Macho Man Randy Savage, or more specifically, allows you to place any single object anywhere, regardless of what laws of physics and or property you might be violating. This mod essentially removes any and all building limitations set in place by Todd Goddamn Howard in vanilla Fallout 4, letting you build anything and everything you could possibly think of. Not only does this mod allow you to place every and any single object anywhere you wish inside of your settlements, but the mod maker even added a few of his own unique functions. No longer will you be limited by rotating objects on only one specific axis, but now you can simply pick the axis and rotate the object by however many degrees you feel like it. And if that were not enough, the mod maker even allows you to enlarge, harden and erect any single object in-game. Maybe not the last two, but you get the idea. However, this mod does have a downside, or more specifically, it is quite inconvenient to use, seeing as how it is a very complex mod and requires a few unorthodox and somewhat unusual controls for you to be able to use every single function it provides. Fortunately, however, the mod maker has provided a quite detailed and in-depth documentation of every single function added by this mod and how to use it. I would gladly read it out right now, but unfortunately I cannot because of my horrible illiteracy. So now, with the help of all the mods showcased thus far, you can now build the settlements of your dreams. Yeah, soak it all in. Now, some of you may think this mod is quite unimmersive, seeing as how it allows you to defy gravity. But answer me this question: if gravity was a real thing, why was it not mentioned in the Bible? If gravity was a phenomenon occurring in reality, then why did it have to be discovered by some puffy wig-wearing 19th century British cunt? Yeah, suck on those apples of wisdom. And last but not least, at number 1, we have the Conquest, Build New Settlements and Camping mod by Chesco. Now, unlike most settlement mods I have reviewed thus far, this one is just slightly different. While it may add in a whole bunch of new settlement objects, that is by far not the main focus of this mod. So if you enjoy setting up shop, pitching tents, or any other camping-related euphemism that could also be used to describe a sexual act, then I highly recommend downloading this mod. Now, the Conquest, Build New Settlements and Camping mod, great name by the way, just rolls off the tongue, is by far one of the greatest, if not the single greatest, settlement mod available on the Fallout 4 Nexus. For the most part, it allows you to set up a settlement or a campsite anywhere within the entirety of the Commonwealth. Now, this may sound very daunting and confusing, but the mod itself actually has an incredible system in place that simplifies the entire process to the point where a mentally impaired monkey could do it with ease. Now, as soon as you load up your Fallout 4 with this mod installed, you will notice that your character has gotten a new item, and that being the action Build Campsite item within the 8th category. As soon as you use this item, the mod will give you a nifty little notification telling you to exit your Pip-Boy and giving you the ability to set up your camp by placing down what I can only describe as a very girthy super mutant dong. Now, the campsite crafting mechanic is actually very similar to the vanilla Fallout 4 settlement crafting mechanic, where the duffel bag you just place down essentially acts as the workshop. There are a few noticeable key differences though. For example, you are not able to scrap any items in the nearby vicinity of your campsite, as well as you cannot craft any of the objects available in the settlement workshop. The mod maker has added his very own campsite-friendly items into the mix, so you can set up your camp with the help of those. However, they are just the bare necessities. Meaning the mod maker has given you a few chairs, a bed, some tarps, a cooking station, a campfire, and even a portable generator. Now this function in and of itself is already enough to make me want to download this mod. Don't get me wrong, I am a big fan of Fallout 4's settlement crafting mechanic, but compared to this mod, it's a fucking shitshow. It is honestly quite unimmersive for you to only be able to set up a settlement in predetermined locations. I mean, in the wasteland, people aren't gonna care where they set up shop, they're gonna start living in a fucking dumpster or something, like homeless people. And when I first heard of Fallout 4's settlement crafting mechanic, I was hoping you'd be able to set up shop anywhere you fucking felt like it. But compared to that, what we got was honestly quite a big slap in the face by Bethesda's mighty meat stick. And that's where this mod steps in and completely revolutionizes the settlement crafting mechanic by giving you the ability to turn your campsites into fully functioning settlements. Now you do this simply by opening up the campsite crafting menu and plopping down a fully fledged fucking workshop. Now you actually are limited to a total of 10 brand new settlements, but seeing as how the vanilla game already has a plethora of locations for you to choose from, 10 does not sound all that bad. And if at any point in the game you simply get bored with the settlement you have created, you can simply pack it up and destroy it. And well, just kinda move it someplace else, wherever that might be. And the beauty of it is that this mod gives you the freedom to put a camp anywhere you fucking feel like it. Want to live in the glowing sea? Be my fucking guest. Want to set up camp on the wreckage of an old airplane? I don't see why not. Want to live underwater? Fucking go for it.